What is going on, guys? Welcome back to this gorgeous Sunday. You guys can see the sun is shining. It is freaking hot. It is 84 degrees and hot. I thought fall was coming, but honestly, I'm going to take it. I love the heat. Well, I don't really love fishing in it because I don't think the fish like it too much, but I will take this over like rain and cloudy every day of the week. But as you guys can see, we're out on the boat today and we are going to be trying to get on them again. Last weekend, we went out and just kind of threw whatever. Texas Rig G-Crack was the main player, but we also mixed in the drop shot. And honestly, I think that's probably going to be the plan for today. It worked well for us last week. Hold on, let me try and get it. Worked well for us last week, and honestly, right now with the fishing just being kind of mid and kind of tough, we're gonna fish with what works. My bad, excuse me, guys. But I think, like I just said, those two will be the thing, the drop shot and the Texas rig. I did bring a Demiki rig and a little bit of a swim bait with an underspin just to test it out. You know, it is sunny, but there is no wind, so I don't think that's gonna help a lot too much. And the heat, I don't think fish are going to be in an aggressive chasing mood, but we're going to go ahead, cruise on over the first spot, and I'll catch you guys there. There we go. What do we got? Oh, wow. Nice bass. Nice freaking bass. Oh my gosh. We're getting the net. Got him. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Picked it up at the last second. Look at this tank of a toad. Oh my goodness. And scoot out a little bit. Check out this bass. I mean, she is a beautiful, beautiful fish. Gonna go ahead and get a weight on her really quick. See what we're rocking. What do we have? 2.11. 2.11 pounder. Not a bad flippin' fish. Go ahead and send her on back. Ever so gracefully. There we go. Now that is a solid first fish. I always forget a freaking rag, but as you guys saw, 2.1 on the scale, so a 2.1 pounder to start. And of course, it came on nothing other than, let me grab her really quick if I can. This bad boy, the purple, let's see if we get the focus, the purple little dice, one of my favorite baits this summer. Not just the purple one, but pretty much any color dice. But there we go. First fish on the board. We're gonna go ahead and see if we can get a couple more. Whoa. Man, look at this. All the boat traffic right there coming out of the river. Probably should put this somewhere in here. I'd be absolutely annoyed if that popped out from a wave. But there we go. First fish, like I keep saying, on the board. We have a ton, and I mean a ton of weeds on the surface. It's honestly quite annoying, but that's kind of what happens as we transition into fall. All these weeds start dying, and obviously a ton of boat traffic does not help. But regardless, we are making it work. We are casting around these weeds, and there are surprisingly a decent amount of fish. And surprisingly, you know, we're not even getting too many weeds per cast, but we're also trying to cast pretty carefully. But hey, that might be the second video. I think last video we started off with a 2.1 pounder, so maybe it's the same fish. I honestly don't know. But two different sides of the lake, so I highly doubt it. But you know what? That just means there's 2.1 pounders all around for us. There we go. Got him. Not as big, but a feisty one. My gosh. Come here. Come here, you. Look at that. Fish number 2 on the dice. Where's the hook at? Pop you on off, and then we'll pop off you, Mr. Bass. And just like that, fish number 2 is in the boat. See ya. Give ourselves a little bath in the process, but there we go. About 5 minutes later, an easy peasy number 2 is in the boat. I'll show you guys. We're fishing a drop off right now. You guys can see a ton of weeds, shallow, and then kind of right here it starts to slowly drop off a little bit, and then to my left on this side it's, let's see, it's 12 foot. So you know, it goes from probably 2 to 6 to 12, and these fish are kind of just hanging out. The weed structure definitely helps on a drop off. If you have weeds on a drop off, there's more than likely not a chance there is going to be some fish hanging around there. And we made a cast, and that sucker came out from the weeds to get it. Whacked it. Little guy. Little guy was hungry. Here we go. Well, that was the biggest thump of the day. If there was one of a word, it would go to you, mister. See ya. You guys can see, look at how chewed up this bait is getting. I'll probably give it, you know, one more fish, and then I'll probably have to retire this one. These baits are just so good. I mean, let's see, I probably have caught about 30-ish fish on this bait. You know, honestly, you could push it even more. You know, if you really wanted to, you could probably get maybe close to 40 out of it. But that stretchy, you know, elastic material, it really gives you the opportunity to save on baits. Plus 12 of them come in a pack. So, you know, again, these are the ones off TikTok. If you guys are curious, I don't know, you know, normally I'm not going to promote and plug things super heavily, but you know, I actually really do believe and like this product. So they're the Invincicore ones. You can get them off TikTok, or you could probably go to Invincicore's Instagram page and find their website. But you can get a 12 pack in many colors. I picked the purple ones just because of, you know, purple's my favorite color. But again, I'm not sponsored. I don't work with them in any way. They just sent me a free sample off TikTok, and I've really been loving them. You know, I want to say maybe they're 15 bucks. So very affordable compared to, you know, other brands, whether you get them straight from Japan where you get 3 for 20 something dollars. The G-Crack ones are also another good option, but the only problem is you get, I think it's 4 in a pack for 12 bucks. So, you know, again, do what you want. But if you guys are looking to get into the dice game or the fuzzy dice, you know, I would recommend checking them out. But there we go. I think that's 3 fish landed, 4 fish hooked. We were kind of making our way up this little shoreline. Once we get up in this area, we'll probably move spots. As you guys can see, the traffic has obviously picked up a ton on the lake, man. And then also the wind a little bit, but honestly, I don't mind the wind. It's cool. Maybe it'll get the bait fish a little riled up. I do have you guys saw, I don't know if I'll put it in there, but I have got like a little swim bait 4-inch paddle tail with an underspin with some flash that I've been whipping around, seeing if we can get a bite on that. So maybe the wind will help get a bite there. But again, you know, I think it might just be a little bit too hot for that swim bait bite. Oh shit. Pardon my language, YouTube, but it appears there's something very toothy down there. Took me clean off. Again, I apologize for my language, you guys. Kind of caught me off guard. I felt a little tap and set the hook, and my God, we are down a drop shot. Well, there goes my problem of fixing the bait, but you know, we're gonna go ahead, retie on right here in a minute, see if we can get back down there and catch that critter that broke us off. All right, day 2. We're officially at our first spot. Can you guys see? We're on a weed line right here, and we're going to be pitching around the bellow skills. My last one that I have. We're going to be trying to get some use out of it before this warm weather goes away and these fish get out of that mood. But hey, water is 70, excuse me, I don't know why I'm always burping. 75 degrees though. That is crazy. And it is, oh my gosh, oh, I thought that was a fish. 75 degrees, and it is, tomorrow is October 1st. That is unreal. I mean, maybe not around the country, but for this part of, for Michigan, that's absurd. So, you know, we're basically just going to be pitching these little weed lines, hoping we can get a bite or two. Like I said, we brought that bigger glide bait, of course, the Metro Glide right there, along with the trusty drop shot. But if we throw the drop shot, I am not going to throw that dice anymore. I'm going to switch up the bait. Getting a little bored of throwing that dice, so we'll try and make something new happen. But I'm hoping we can get at least 1 or 2 on this, and then kind of the rest of the day just throw that big glide bait around and look for that one of those really big giant bites like we occasionally get. Oh wait, there we go. Look at that. First one already. Honestly, that was such a small bite. I honestly thought I had a weed, but look at that baby guy. We'll go ahead, send him on back down. Down, down, down. Let's see, how many minutes was that? 2 minutes in. That might have been like our 3rd cast. But there we go, not too shabby. I'm telling you guys, if you haven't tried them, give these things a chance. They are so much freaking fun. Honestly, I think next summer I'm probably going to be using these over craws. They're definitely more expensive, but I think they're going to be worth every single penny that you pay for them. Let's see, I'm having a little bit of trouble Texas rigging it. But here we go. One. Yeah, look at, like I said, all this weed line right here. You guys can see it on live scope as well. Well, the motor's pointing that way, but I'm basically just trying to pitch right along to the right of these weed lines, just hopping off the bottom, and then hopefully, you know, there's something hiding along in those weeds. There also is like a semi drop off, if you even want to call it that. You know, it kind of goes from 10 to 16-ish foot, so a little bit of a drop off. I've caught some pretty nice bass here on it before, so I figure, you know what, we'll try out this side of the lake, see what's popping over here, and see if we can catch any giants. But I'm seeing a ton of probably 1 to 3 inch bluegill just sitting right on top of these, like right in that little grass kelp forest thing. So, you know, maybe these bass are going to be feeding on bluegill soon, hopefully. But a little bit too weedy to throw the glide bait through there. There we go. Whoa. Big, and whatever it is. Maybe not that big. What do we got? Chonker. Look at this little chunker. Come here. Come here. Look at that chunker. Where's my phone at? About time. Decent one. Watch how easy this hook's gonna pop out. Watch, I say that and now it's not, but butter. Look at probably about a pounder, I'd say, no more. But he sure fought like it. Honestly, the bite was way bigger. But there we go. Second one landed on the Mr. Bellow skill. Still relatively intact. I'd say it's always probably after, do I dare say it, the 6th or 7th fish that it starts to get all raggedy and beat up. But that's dose. We're coming up right to the swim trap where last video, we ended up smoking two 2-pounders right on back-to-back casts. So we're gonna obviously pitch this down there. But then of course, I thought I was getting hit for a second. But of course, then we're gonna toss around, I think, the big old glide bait. See if we can get 1 or 2 bites on that. Because obviously, you know, I'm not saying all the fish we catch on it are giants, but you know, we're also not gonna catch anything smaller than a pound. And if it is, it's, you know, because they swiped at it and they missed and, you know, they accidentally hooked themselves. But, you know, I've seen a lot of bass kind of close to the surface, so I'm hoping maybe they'll get in a feeding mood. And then it's 6 o'clock right now, and you know, only as we get closer to dusk, hopefully, you know, these fish start to pick up feeding a little bit as well. But here we come into the danger zone, baby. All right, you guys, that is going to wrap it up today. Unfortunately, we caught a big old goose egg, but you know what? We got out here on a beautiful day. Here, let me turn around. The sun is setting to my back, but right down there, we still have a little bit of sun. Honestly, enjoying some of these last summer sunsets, even though today is October 1st. Hard to believe it's still this nice on October 1st, but you know, the fish just weren't out today. But you know, I don't know if that's due to, you know, since the last time I was out, which was Monday, in areas the lake temperature had decreased around 3 to 4ish degrees. And you know, we did have a frontal winds come in today with some little bit of cooler air. Of course, this weekend it's gonna heat back up, into the high 80s, almost 90s, and then after that cool down again. So hopefully after that we can get a week or two of consistent weather so these fish can kind of figure out what they want to do. But nonetheless, we still caught a ton in this video, a couple decent ones, Jesus. But I hope you guys enjoyed. You know, let me know how the fishing is in your guys' area. I'm curious to see, you know, how you guys are doing. Hopefully it's better than what we had today. But thank you guys all for tuning in, and hopefully I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.